Stay tuned and be blessed. Indeed, we have a victory this morning.
Welcome, welcome. It is Wellness Wednesday. It is another awesome day to be alive. You know what? Today is better than yesterday. It is. Speak it into being. It's a wonderful day to be alive. A lot is happening. And while we want to be a part of everything, we want to stay healthy. So, good morning to our listeners. Good morning, Mikey G. Good morning to listeners on YouTube, Facebook, and on www.flashpointmedia.ky. Morning, morning, morning.
Good morning. I would add my quote of welcome and good morning also, Lady Elise, because I'm telling you, this morning is just a wonderful morning. You know, there are so many reminders. I played so many great songs this morning that tell so many stories of how we should give God thanks and just know that while He is working in you, you need to just continue to stay faithful.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Mikey G.
Wellness Wednesday is, of course, a day brought to you for your health and wellness. And indeed, I can tell you that we want the best for you. And it encourages the idea that you can be healthy and healthier than you are right now. And so we bring these features for you each morning, each day, so you can benefit from it in a very special and significant way. And you know, it is on us to do it. If we don't do it, then we would have missed what we were called to do. It's like we are bringing to you the necessary tools that you can navigate this murky water that we have been placed in and come out at the best side of it. Of course, when we come back,
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Good morning. This is day 12. I am the Lord your God. You shall therefore consecrate yourself, and you shall be holy, for I am holy. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 44. The Leviticus reminder, written by Ann Setters. Leviticus may be one of the least read books in the Bible, and you might be wondering what its purpose really is. Why all those laws and rules about clean and unclean animals? What message was God giving to the Israelites and to us? Bible commentator Gordon Wenham says, as the laws distinguished clean from unclean animals, so the people were reminded that God had distinguished them from all the other nations on earth to be his own possession. Man's highest duty is to imitate his creator. 5 times in Leviticus, God says, "Be holy, for I am holy." And 45 times he says, "I am the Lord," or "I am the Lord your God." One of the most important themes in the book is God's call for his people to be holy. Jesus echoed that theme when he said in Matthew 5 verse 48, "You shall be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." As you read Leviticus 11, remember that you are special to God and are to proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. We need the Leviticus reminder every day. Some portions of the Word of God are difficult to read, but God will help us understand rich truths he would have us heed. Our quote this morning reads, "Study the Bible to be wise, believe it to be safe, practice it to be holy."
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Welcome back. Study the Bible to make you wise. And I just love those devotionals. We are talking about Leviticus. And if you get a chance to look in that book of the Bible, you'll find some interesting laws, some ceremonial laws, what you should eat, something related to women and men, and relations at different time of the month, and so
Do you,
on
do
and
you
so
think do
forth.
you think that some of those things are still binding today, Elise?
Well, well,
Hmm.
I think yes,
I don't know. Some.
I
I didn't say all. I said some. I just said some. Do you think some of those things
some
are still binding?
some things
Are still
are
binding.
still binding.
What about what about
And
what about what about um let me go to the. I think we are waiting. Our doctor is waiting for us to go. If I start this conversation, it will not stop.
yes, because what Leviticus exposed us to is the different types of the moral law,
Moral
the
laws and stuff.
ceremonial law, and the distinction between those laws and so forth.
Lots of persons
And
don't like the Old Testament for what it says because of some of the laws that are there, but they hang on to a few that they want to keep, and then they
well,
want to
that's
let
how we
go.
are as people. We choose,
Choose
we
what we want.
sift out, and we sift out what we want, and we, yeah, according to how we want persons to believe too. We might share information, and that's what we know. It's a world where it's in religions, it's in politics, it's in every aspect of life. You sift out and you share things to steer the narrative in a
What
particular
you want it
direction.
to sound for yourself.
But that's not what we are going to be speaking about this morning. Of course, as you reminded us, our physician, or Dr. K, is going to be joining us. It is Wellness Wednesday, and of course, it's important for us to take care of our health. So, of course, stay tuned, and of course, Dr. K will be joining us. I don't know what she'll be saying to us today, but I'm sure it will be pearls. There will be pearls of wisdom.
Of course, when we come back.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yes, yes, yes. It is another beautiful Wednesday. It is time to get well and stay well. And of course, Dr. K is joining us, and we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to the breakfast hour.
Good morning, Lady Elise. Good morning, Mikey G. I'm doing well this morning. Thank you. Okay, so
But I guess
I heard.
nobody heard me a while ago. Nobody heard me. So good morning. I
So
wanted to
you know,
ask what health tips will we be getting this morning from this morning's experience?
yes, I did hear you, and I was saying a few weeks ago, I heard you talking about glaucoma. I heard you've been talking about obesity in the last few days, and actually, January was National Glaucoma Month. So I've been itching to talk about glaucoma.
But I was also
I
I was
mean, it's
also talking about I was also talking about full weed, that weed.
correct,
That's
correct,
what brought me
correct.
crazy.
I heard that also, and I can tell you, it is true. It is true that marijuana has properties, and I had a professor at university who, after much duress, God bless his soul, I'm sure he's deceased now.
You're sure?
When I met him, when I met him, he was old, so he'd been much older now. I think he has been. He's not here anymore, but under much duress,
Right.
he was able to isolate the
Ah,
component in marijuana. And I said much duress because he had to have quite a large quantity in his lab, and it wasn't allowed. So, it took a while for him to get permission
but to
to be
get
able to
rested.
isolate the property. And it's available in Jamaica in the form of eye drops. It's awesome. It's very good. Lots of people fly to Jamaica to get the eye drop to treat their glaucoma.
So
So
what you're saying?
yes,
So what you're saying?
marijuana does.
So what you're saying, Doc, is that the drug is not on the e-market out there in the public, like just to be found in Jamaica alone.
Well, I'm not sure if the other countries have gotten the patent, but I know at the time, that was probably about 20 years ago, there was an issue with wanting to patent his product, which there was an issue with, so it wasn't available on the worldwide market.
Oh,
But it might be available now. I'm not sure.
oh,
But the thing about it is that glaucoma is a disease that I'm sure people don't want because it can lead to blindness. Okay? So, glaucoma is a disease of the eye where there's damage to the optic nerve in the eye. So, we know that our eyes are always lubricated, correct? So, we produce fluid in our eye called the aqueous humor. And it's this fluid that flows from the back of the eye to the front of the eye to lubricate the eye. So the entire eye is lubricated. That's inside the eye. What we have on the outside is tears. That's not the fluid. So we need tears in order for us, our cornea, to be lubricated. But inside the eye, we need it to be in a lubricated. So there's fluid in the eye. There's aqueous humor and there's vitreous humor at the back. But what happens? We produce this fluid and it goes around the eye, and then sometimes there is like it moves through like this mesh like area to the front, and sometimes because the area is whatever reason it's not able to move. Sometimes we call it closed angle or open angle glaucoma, where the fluid is not able to move. Whatever reason it is, the fluid is not able to move freely, so it backs up in the eye and it increases the pressure in the eye. The problem with glaucoma is that in the early stages, it does not have any, well, it doesn't cause any problem. There are no symptoms. And that is why we go to the eye doctor, correct? And every
Yes,
time you go to the eye doctor checks your eye pressure. Because that's the best way to find out if there's something happening to your eye. Whether your eye is normal or not, you should visit your eye doctor. Your eye doctor will check your eye pressure, and if the eye pressure is elevated, then I think the normal pressure is somewhere between 12 and 20. I'm not, don't quote me on that, but I think it is millimeters of mercury. But if the eye pressure is elevated, then your doctor will be trying to figure out why is your eye pressure elevated and are you at risk for glaucoma, and will do additional stuff.
what's the purpose of
So, say that again.
go ahead, Doc. Finish your part.
Right, and the eye pressure is not hard to check. It's just a little thing on the eye and they get the pressure.
I was just asking
Go
what's
ahead.
the purpose of the tears.
Your tear to lubricate your eye, to get out foreign bodies out of your eye. If your eye is dry, it's gonna be the most painful thing, and it's gonna be the most uncomfortable thing. I'm not sure if you've ever felt like you have um, gravel in your eye,
Yes, I felt that too.
and if you don't have tears, that's how your eye is going to feel.
Especially for those persons who do like welding and stuff, and there's that thing called flashing, where the sparks come off and flash the eye. It feels like you have this in the eye, and those persons are slow.
Yeah, but that's damaging to your eye, and that's not good.
Not
That's
good.
why you wear protective eyewear.
and you know, Dr. K, as you mentioned that, you know, it's always such a wake up call to recognize how every single member of your body requires care. And we frequently refer to the eye as your windows to the world for you to see. And so we ought to take care of our eyes. And recently, fairly recently, I visited my physician, and he was mentioning to me that there are persons in the Caribbean who are more at risk for glaucoma, and we sometimes overlook checking of your eyes. It's not one of those things. We know we talk about high blood pressure, we talk about diabetes, but to go and do the regular checks on your eyes, that's something we generally kind of brush aside.
And it's true because okay, so what are the risk factors for getting glaucoma?
Oh,
Being black.
well, Oh my gosh, Mikey G, you're at risk 100%.
Black persons are
So
at higher risk.
glaucoma, yes, glaucoma is higher in African Caribbean descent
Wow.
and in Asian population, okay? But it's much, much higher in people of African, Afro Caribbean descent. So being who we are, we're at risk for getting
Did I tell a story?
glaucoma.
Did I tell a story of how they found out how to isolate that this drug actually was available, how it was available, how they found out that it was potent enough, or what it was that they could use. I didn't tell a story on it, but anyways, I don't want to. I think we should
Oh,
we
okay.
should
So the thing
leave
about it
that
is
story
that
alone a little bit.
yeah, it has to do with the people, or what we say, the religious um people in Jamaica, those Rastafarians, who basically especially those fishermen who tend to have, who do deep sea diving, and who will go out at nights, and they had awesome vision. In fact, a real Rastaman, I've not seen a real Rastaman with glasses.
Hmm.
Let's push that up a little bit.
Probably they do wear glasses now, but I
That
never
one,
used
that
to.
one, that one's a striking one. That one is very striking. Just to hear you
Have
say
you
that a while
think
ago.
about it, Lady Elise? A real Rastaman in
But
Jamaica who sells
you really,
smoke and do
that,
awesome.
that
And
you struck
have
a
you ever
nerve.
seen him with
You
glasses?
struck a nerve. You struck a nerve. When you say real
I'm
rest,
starting.
you
I'm
struck.
starting to think about it.
I
I'm
just
starting
thought
to
about
think
it.
of
I can't remember. I cannot.
all
I
all
can't
the
remember.
Rastafarians that I do know. Um, let's
2020
see.
vision until they're 103.
I don't know.
I'm not
I
saying
I
it's
don't know. I'm not
103,
sure.
but I'm just saying I'm not seeing any wearing glasses, and I think probably that is where Professor West had gotten the thought to say something. These guys are, what's wrong with their eyes? They can see like so well. It must be something in what they're using,
I
and the
can
thing
see.
about it, remember, marijuana has a lot of other properties that you don't
Wow.
want to use like that, because it's
yes.
really really not an I mean, it's a drug that you don't want to just smoke marijuana, because that's what they do, or probably they drink the tea. But the other, the hallucinogens and the other properties that is in marijuana can damage you long term, and that's why he he decided to isolate the product, isolate the drug, or isolate the product from marijuana, because these people were having vision that was, really really awesome. But being older, age over 40 and older, puts you at risk for marijuana. As I said again, you're being black and also Asian descent puts you at risk. So our white people tend not to be at risk for glaucoma as much as us. We are like really, really about 15 times more likely to have blindness from open angle glaucoma, right? And also, women are at greater risk for getting glaucoma. And if you have a family history, then you're at risk for getting glaucoma. So, yes, um, we should make sure we take care of ourselves. Other things that can help put us at risk is like if we have high blood pressure, okay, and if we have diabetes. These are risk factors that are linked to glaucoma, okay? So, as we said, we know what glaucoma is, we know what our risk factor is. And the best thing for us to do is just to go get our eyes on. And we should know that glaucoma is curable, it's treatable. So if you find it out early, early diagnosis can lead to early cure.
So what are the
Late.
symptoms though? What are the symptoms? Are
So,
if
so
you do have a family history, does it mean that you have to get your eyes checked earlier?
well, how often do we get our eyes checked? Once we reach 40 years old, we get our eyes checked every year, every 2 years. That's just normal. And your doctor will recommend you whether you're at risk for glaucoma or not. you should get your eyes checked every year, depending, every year when you're older, over 65 years, or if you have conditions. And if you don't have anything, every 2 to 5 years, you should get your eyes checked,
Okay.
whether or not you have a condition. But what are the risk factors for glaucoma? So, what are the symptoms? Sorry. As I say, initially there's none, but you can get headaches, right? As one of the commonest symptom right now. You can get headaches, or you can get, I don't know if you know about floaters, where you actually see, like in your eyes, you see these spots, whether they're wavy or they're spots come up in your eye. You can get floaters. So, new floaters can mean that you have glaucoma. Floaters can be caused from other things. Okay, it can cause from peripheral vitreous detachment, but that's one of the causes of glaucoma. Or you can have, like a rainbow halo around lights. You look at the
Mm-hmm.
light and you're seeing a little colored halo around it.
Looking for.
And there could be nausea, vomiting. So those are things that you can get with glaucoma. But as I say, the most common signs and symptom, or the most common symptom, is really a headache. Is really a headache, and then you can get the visual. But even before you get the visual problems, you tend to get a headache or eye pain. So your eye hurts you, your head hurts you. Sometimes you can get redness or bloodshot in your eyes, and you can also get double vision. So those are some of the symptoms, and then you realize that I'm not seeing properly.
So
Okay.
can your general practitioner assess the pressure in your eye, or do you have to see? As a matter of fact, which allows me to ask the questions, because I know you have optician, you have optometrist, and you have ophthalmologist, and
Correct.
and persons would just stop at a place and you buy a glasses, or you have a little visual disturbance, or we don't really connect the dots. We are not really sure of who to see when and what how we should do it.
Okay, so you're if you are younger and you're just testing your eyes for visual defects, right? You can just see your optometrist. Okay? So, and it all depends too. There are optometrists who are really, really good, and will check your vision, and will also check your visual fields, and will check other things. So the optometrician, you don't necessarily need to go to an ophthalmologist. Right now, I go to an optometrician. He's a doctor, he's very good, but he's not an ophthalmologist. He's awesome. So when you go to him, he's gonna do all the tests, all the screenings, everything. He's going to dilate your eyes. He's going to look at your retina. He's going to check the pressure in the eye. He's going to check your visual fields. And if he sees a problem, then he's going to send you to an ophthalmologist. So you don't necessarily need to go to an ophthalmologist. If you have a good optometrician, you're awesome. So you can just see an optometrician, they can do everything that the ophthalmologist will do, but to an extent. So if they're having a problem and they see that there's an issue, then they will send you off. So they're like the gateway to the ophthalmologist. If for older people who already have issues, will just go straight to the ophthalmologist because they have problems. But for people who are just screening, checking for vision, checking for glasses, the optometrician will do that. The optometrist will basically just check your eyes in terms of your vision, will check your visual fields, but they will not go much further. I'm not sure if they do check the pressure in your eye, but I don't see why they can't check the pressure in your eye. But they wouldn't dilate your eye though.
Okay.
because checking the pressure is just checking the pressure. I mean, probably it's an optometrician. They're the ones who basically would just check the pressure, would do everything. So they're the like the gateway to the ophthalmologist. You don't necessarily need to go to an ophthalmologist if, but your primary care physician really doesn't check your eye. They will check to see that you can see you have 20/20 vision or other things, but they're not going to be checking the pressure in your eye or even they might check your visual fields because of course if you come to them and you're telling them that you have a problem, for you to diagnose to say yes there is an issue, you need to go see your doctor, your ophthalmologist. So they will do crew tests, but they won't do the specific tests that you would need, especially for cases like glaucoma. So you go to your primary care physician and say to them, "I'm having headaches, I'm having eye aches," and he's gonna say, "Oh, tell me what else is happening to you. Are you having any decreased vision? Are you seeing any flashing lights? Are you seeing any floaters in the eye?" And he's gonna check. Let me see what your visual field is. Let me see. Can you read my eye charts? And you say, no, I can't see it except past the second line, and he's gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna refer you to the doctor."
Can't see past the second line.
So I will ask the question though, Dr. K. Um, what what symptom would you say that you must see the doctor? So you mentioned that you should have your annual checkup, and when you reach 40, you should ensure that you have your eyes checked regularly. But is it that if I have an excruciating headache, when do I know that I must make an appointment? I must see my ophthalmologist, optician, optometrist. When do I know that I
I would
must see the doctor?
I would
Well, when it comes on to the eye, anytime you see, if okay, so these things are emergency. If you see a floater in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
if you see like there's blood in the eye, if you're looking at a light and then all of a sudden you're seeing flashing lights, these are all emergency. Don't even wait. Go to your doctor immediately. So if you start seeing flashing lights, if you're seeing new floaters in the eye, you're seeing these new, whether they're going to be moving and you're the only one who can see floaters, nobody else can because it's in your eye. So you're seeing new floaters in the eye, you're seeing flashing lights in your eye, and you're having any form of like there's a blood in your eye, whether it's gonna be bloodshot, red eyes, you need to see the doctor
Okay.
immediately. No need to wait. So even with a headache, and you can wait for a few days, but with this, you need to see your doctor. You need to get on the phone and call and call your ophthalmologist or your optometrician, and better to call your ophthalmologist and say, "I need an appointment ASAP." And if your doctor is, one of those doctors, they will give you an appointment immediately. If it's not today, they will bring you in tomorrow. But it's something that they will not say, "Come, today's Wednesday, come in on Friday." No, 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 no. They'll say, "You call at this morning," they say, "Okay, can you come in at 3 o'clock? Or can you give me the last appointment for today?" But they're going to see you urgently because this is a case where you can lose your vision. So your doctor will definitely, if you see any of those, it's an emergency, people. You need to go to your doctor now. Redness in your eye, severe eye pain, floaters in your eye, or you're seeing flashing lights, or any bloodshot or reddened eye, you need to go to your doctor ASAP.
And Dr. K, we speak about health and healthcare so regularly, and sometimes the members of our body, sometimes we ignore them unless we have a situation working with. But there are older persons that I know in my family who would have been blind at an older age. And having this awareness, should trigger us to have some sort of plan in terms of preventing or what we call preventative maintenance, right, of our bodies. And so I want to just emphasize the importance of taking care of your eye health too for your future vision, right, Dr. K? So that you know that, okay, and sometimes we don't know that our grandmother or our great grandmother had glaucoma. We're not sure. We just know that they were blind.
Well, today's is really an awesome day, Wellness
Yeah,
Wednesday, and we're talking
right.
so much about all these things. I just thought about it a while ago, Elise and Dr. K. I just thought about it.
Yes.
I'm going to be a Rastafarian and Dr. Okay.
No, but Dr. K mentioned some important things that we need to consider,
Protect
and
my eyes. Protect my
to
eyes.
protect your eyes.
I have to be a
Yes.
Yeah, but
Rastafarian to protect my
yeah,
eyes. Yeah?
yeah,
Because
but you're protecting your eyes, but not protecting the other aspect of your body. So yes,
oh
you might protect
boy.
your eyes, but you'll
Oh
be able to
boy.
see, but not be able to use what you see because you have some other illnesses, schizophrenia, the whole works, walking around
Doc,
and having to be on
you
medication and
always
don't
come,
know.
you always straighten us out there here on the breakfast hour every morning, every time we get a chance. I tell you, the information is potent. When we consider all the things that can go wrong with us and how God has made us and given us as human beings the actual knowledge and tools to help each other, you know, is this kind of treatment readily available to all people or just a select group of persons who can get access to this kind of
You mean treatment in terms of for glaucoma?
yeah, just to get your eyes checked or you just
No, no,
you
but
don't
it's readily available. There are ophthalmologists, there are optometricians,
well if
there
you
are
don't have money if
optometrists.
you don't have money you can't get it. If you don't have money you can't get it.
Well, that's the point. You don't have to go to the ophthalmologist. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You don't have to go to the ophthalmologist who's going to charge you an arm and a leg. But you can go to the optometrist. You can, because if you go to the
To take off just a
optometrist,
leg.
yes, but the optometrist is not going to charge you. It's going to be a cheaper visit. And your
Yes.
optometrist is going to do your screen. So your optometrist is going to have the knowledge to know that something is wrong with your eye and will escalate the issue. So you don't have to start with going to an ophthalmologist who's going to charge you $500. You can go to an optometrist who's going to charge you a visit of probably $60 or $100. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. So you have to decide that I'm going to get my eyes checked, but I don't have the money to pay an ophthalmologist today, but I can pay an optometrist. Now, if your optometrist said, okay, everything is okay, there's no issue, you're good, then you know you're good for a while, and then you can until you get the money to go to an ophthalmologist. So you get screening yearly by your optometrist or your optometrician. So that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to escalate it. Yes, and they're available everywhere. An optometrician, an optometrist is everywhere, every single place. Agree? It is. Now, before I go, I just want to just say what are some of the things that you can do to prevent. Before we even go to prevention, I can go to let's go to prevention. Some of the things that you can do to prevent you getting glaucoma. So it starts out again eating a healthy diet. Your diet is important because remember your vitamins, your antioxidants, your vitamins are important. Remember vitamin, which one is your eye? Which one is good for your eye again?
Carrot.
Beta
Those red ones.
carotene.
I hear the carrots are
Yes,
good.
yes, those red orange vitamins, your carrots and your pumpkins and all of those, your
Ah.
turmeric, those are very, very good for high eye health.
Mm.
So you try to eat a healthy diet, and even that with your other vitamins, with the antioxidants and stuff, which are necessary, not just for the rest of our body, but also to maintain good eye health. Okay, so you need your zinc, you need your copper, you need your selenium, you need these things that are in your food and your vitamins C, E, and A, especially your A, which you know is in your carotene and your orange and your yellow fruits, then you need to exercise.
Exercise
Exercise
for
is
my eye.
important. Because it reduces eye pressure. No, it does.
Okay.
Exercise actually reduce eye pressure, help to reduce eye pressure. So it's a good prevention for glaucoma. So if you have a family risk, because I totally remember with glaucoma, the pressure in your eye is elevated. So if you can exercise, that can help. It's a subtle thing, but it can help to decrease the pressure in your eye. Caffeine increases the pressure in your eye. So decrease caffeine if you normally do. And can I tell you that drinking fluid water is
Wow.
important? And it's not just drinking. If you drink a gallon of water at once, it can cause glaucoma. A gallon, I said, at once. Because you're not supposed to drink so much water at one time. You're supposed to be sipping throughout the
Too
day.
much
So,
water is not good for
so
you.
for example, you decide that, well, it can cause other things, but it can also worsen and cause and worsen glaucoma because it's going to increase the pressure in the eye. Okay, and then if you take your medications as prescribed. But there are other things that you can use to help with glaucoma. There are herbal stuff that you can use. Okay, so you can use there are things like bilberry extract that you can use to help with glaucoma, relaxation techniques, handle your stress, can help with glaucoma to decrease the pressure in your eye. So stress can increase the pressure in your eye. Dealing with that stress, relaxation, whether it's gonna be yoga, walk along this ocean, listening to some music, whatever you do to relax you, that can help to treat glaucoma.
Might some people.
Marijuana is something that is used to treat glaucoma. Not smoking marijuana, as I said to
I was,
you,
I was, I
it's
was.
not recommended that you use marijuana, but the product is available to treat glaucoma. And everybody, the American Association of Ophthalmology, even though they don't recommend marijuana, they know the product is there in marijuana to
They don't
treat
recommend marijuana.
glaucoma.
I understand they recommend hemp.
And I don't think hemp has the product.
Hemp don't have it. I know. I don't know. I don't know much about it.
Hemp doesn't.
I know.
It's
I
it's
know.
a
I know.
canister.
Right on.
Yeah,
I know that
yeah. I'm saying
M,
it's
the M story is one that has been married from the ganja plant story, and it was called M. They didn't call it ganja anymore. Like if you call in Jamaica, you say ganja or marijuana or ganja and bush ganja.
but but but
You just call it's
but
simple,
hemp
but one is bush ganja and the other one, but you just know it's ganja in them, right?
but
You don't call it.
hemp is like a relative of.
Yes.
Okay.
Hemp
Relative
is a
of
relative.
weed.
It's a relative of. But it doesn't have the properties that marijuana has, right? But as I say to you, it's always something that we always think about the our bodies, and as Lady Elise said, everything is intertwined, and it's so important that every time we talk about something, we talk about nutrition, we talk about stress, we talk about exercise,
Exercise.
we talk about water, we talk about air, we talk about our sunshine. It's the same lifestyle that we go through for almost every disease entity in terms of preventing and also maintaining a healthy lifestyle. We can offset a lot of these diseases, whether they're family, whether we are genetically predisposed to them or lifestyle predisposed to them. It's amazing that every time we go back to the same set of rules that God has given us from day one.
Keep a healthy diet. Talk about the time this morning.
Exercise,
What?
drink water, manage your stress, sleep.
Dr. K, you can't say it too many times, and we really do appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule to share with us and certainly bring us to an awareness. I didn't even know that there was a glaucoma awareness month, and I would have missed it totally. So I want to thank you for reminding us. Of course, my annual appointment is in March. My ophthalmologist is super busy, and I have to make my appointment sometime a whole year in advance. So, guys, please take care of your eyes. You want to be seeing until you're, oh,
103.
No,
yes,
it's true because
yes,
it's losing your vision is very jarring
yeah,
when you're not able to see, because I mean you can lose an arm and a leg and it's bad and you can get a replacement, but when you lose your eye, I haven't seen any eye replacement yet. We do corneal transplants, but I'm not seeing an entire eye. And we do lens, we do replace your lenses, but when it comes down to other things in your eye, I've not seen an optic nerve transplanted because that's what glaucoma damages. Because of the pressure in your eye, you're putting pressure on the optic nerve, and once you damage the optic nerve, then that's where you get the vision loss. So it's a damage to your optic nerve that causes the problem with glaucoma. So yes, it behooves us to take care of every aspect. If we lose our hearing, we're at risk for falling, and we're
yeah.
at risk for other things. We lose our vision, we're at risk for falling and for other things. It's bad. It's very hard at when you're 60 years old or when you're 50 years old to learn to read braille
Yes.
because you cannot see.
Yeah. So let's do what we can to take care of our health.
Wellness Wednesdays, guys.
Thank you so much, Dr. K.
Yes, definitely, definitely. We'll come back again next week with another interesting topic.
Of course, when we come back,
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Welcome back, welcome back. It is, of course, Wellness Wednesday, and you're joining us live for the breakfast hour. Oh, what a morning it has been. It has been fabulous. And of course, it is time for the news. And I know you want to know what's happening right here in the Cayman Islands and beyond our shores. So it's time for the news. The news today is brought to us by Asai Ultrasound Imaging Services.
Good morning, Cayman. It is February 12th, and these are the news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. I'm Coralie Karen. Tsunami mapping the risk. Following Saturday's 7.6 magnitude earthquake and the subsequent tsunami alert, regional experts are urging residents to better understand the risks posed by tsunamis. In Cayman, mitigating these dangers will involve detailed mapping, public education, and getting the island's tsunami sensor operational again. Speaking on Radio Cayman's For the Record Monday morning, Hazard Management Cayman Islands Director Danny Coleman stressed the importance of awareness, urging residents to understand the risk in relation to their homes, workplaces, and schools. She emphasized that HMCI is working to make tsunami inundation model data accessible to the public, ensuring informed decision-making in the event of a tsunami threat. Political shifts, new alliances, and rivalries. Cayman's political landscape is changing with the retirement of 6 veteran MPs, including Speaker Sir Alan McLaughlin and Premier Juliana O'Connor Connolly. Their departure signals a shift in alliances and rivalries as a new parliamentary era begins. Opposition leader Joey Hugh extended an invitation to Deputy Premier Kenneth Bryan to join his newly structured Progressive Party. Bryan has indicated he will seriously consider the offer. Meanwhile, outgoing Premier O'Connor Connolly kept her remarks brief, having already announced her retirement in an earlier session. Airport worker attacked by armed man. A 30-year-old man from Georgetown was arrested following an attack on an airport worker at Owen Roberts International Airport early Friday morning. Police report that the suspect was behaving suspiciously when confronted by an employee. A struggle ensued, during which the worker managed to disarm the man, sustaining non-life-threatening injuries in the process. The suspect later fled, but was apprehended by police and charged with assault, possession of an offensive weapon, and unlawful possession of a bulletproof vest. He has been granted bail and is set to return to court on February 25. Poaching arrest. Man found with 70 conch. A man was arrested on February 3 for possessing 70 illegally harvested conch, significantly exceeding the legal limit. The Department of Environment reported that the suspect also assaulted an officer during the pursuit, throwing a large rock and causing injury. The conch, taken from a marine protected area in Barker's West Bay, was donated to Meals on Wheels as it had already been removed from the shell. A second suspect has been warned for prosecution as investigations continue. Authorities remind the public that violating fishing limits and marine reserves is a serious offense. Former Chief Justice Sir Anthony Smellie appointed to Privy Council. Sir Anthony Smellie Casey, former Chief Justice of the Cayman Islands, has been appointed to the UK's Privy Council, making him only the second Caymanian judge to achieve this honour. Smellie, who served as Chief Justice for nearly 25 years, was previously knighted for his contributions to law and justice. His appointment is seen as a testament to his distinguished career, which spans over 5 decades. In regional news, nuclear technology enhancing agriculture. Jamaica is using nuclear technology to extend the shelf life of produce such as ginger, coffee, and pimento. Principal Director of Science, Dr. Natween Gardner, explained that irradiation techniques are being applied to reduce spoilage and increase revenue. The initiative, highlighted at the STEM Exposition 2025, aims to improve food security and enhance export potential. Jambar welcomes newly admitted attorneys. The Jamaica Bar Association recently hosted its first in-person seminar in 5 years to support newly admitted attorneys. Held at the JDF Officers Club, the event provided young lawyers with guidance and networking opportunities. Jambar President Kevin Powell emphasized the importance of connecting with experienced legal professionals to navigate the early stages of their careers. Grenadian dancer makes Super Bowl history. Grenadian dancer King Kayak made history by becoming the first Caribbean performer to take center stage during the Super Bowl halftime show. Featured prominently in Kendrick Lamar's performance, King Kayak expressed his pride in representing Grenada on such a global platform, calling it a dream come true. Those were your news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. Please continue to stay tuned for more updates throughout the day.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Back, we want to thank Coralie Perrin for sharing the news with us this morning. It is indeed another beautiful morning, and a lot is happening. Not only here in Grand Cayman, but across the world. And of course, I want to just use this moment. I know there's a lot to touch on before we get out of studio, but as I read the comments, particularly as they relate to a scenario that we have been asked to pray about, that related to Adise Jonas Murphy's sister, who is ill and was airlifted from the Cayman Islands, and she has summoned the prayers of those in the space. You know, social media is more than just connecting, I know you, and getting followers and getting views. It's so much more, and it is times like this that makes it worth it. And of course, she gave an update on her sister, and I must share this with you. And this is the early morning update, and she arrived safely in the US after being transported from the Cayman Islands via air ambulance. And she's asking us to continue to lift her up in prayer. And she's asking you to call her name today, every hour that you can. Please call. And she's asking for specific prayers of faith. Pray for God's intervention during the administration of treatment today. Pray for her mind to be stayed on Christ during this challenging time. Pray for her husband Orlando's strength. Pray for her mom's strength. And of course, pray for Sister Elise as she stands by her sister. We need your prayers filled with hope to petition God's throne even now we wait for his intervention.
I know that I know Pastor Murphy and Sister Elise Murphy personally. Beautiful people, Lady Elise. I must tell you, that Pastor Murphy knows the power of prayer. And of course, Sister Elise also knows the power of prayer. They are powerful ministers of the gospel of the word. And, we want to join in solidarity with the family as Flashpoint members and team. Of course, we will extend it to all our VIP members as well to also join in this prayer and this requisition of God's healing power, recreative power, and of course, His mercies today on the sister of Sister Elise Murphy in the Cayman Islands. That's what I would say.
Yes, so we continue to pray. And Mikey G, before we get out of studio, I also would like to share with you that there is a movie that is going to be debuting right here in the Cayman Islands. And I believe we had shared the trailer right here on the breakfast hour before. And it's called The Hopeful. And of course, we want to share that with you again this morning. And I hope that you would certainly enjoy our sharing this one with you.
Obey His word and believe. There is no time for delay. I believe the Bible is clear. Jesus will return in but 4 short years.
I come before you today to tell you that I have been shown in vision. Father Miller's message was light. The Advent people were traveling on a path toward a bright and holy city.
This is not the first time the end of the world has been prophesied by a fool, nor will it be the last. If you do not renounce these radical ideas, you will not be welcome here in this house of worship.
This was only the beginning of our journey.
Her visions do not come from God.
My friends, she speaks with great tenderness of the word of the Lord.
The Holy Spirit encouraged our Advent hope. There were people who didn't listen and they fell off the path.
I didn't believe this doctrine which you preach. I was lost, and now I'm found.
We must follow the word of God over the rule of men. We feel love, the love of Jesus. It lifts us up, it carries us forward. And it will guide us home.
Hopeful this morning. Wow.
Yes, that will be right here sharing in theaters right here in the Cayman Islands this weekend. This historical moment, of course, it speaks of Miller's experience right there. You can't forget your history.
Well, this is a history that most Adventists do not want to remember.
Speak for yourself, Mikey G. How can you say most Adventists?
Most Adventists do not want it. I'm going to say it like I'm saying. I'm going to say it like I'm saying because this is something that is even taught in the schools. How to reject this message. And look upon it as stupid and as cultist behavior and all the nonsense that comes with it. I understand the principle. But I realize that the word cult is applied to persons who think outside of normal realms. and when it applied, it makes you look stupid to bring you back into the confines of governmental control and thought processing, right? And that word cult is a marketed word to control you. Again, it's like enslavement of mind. When that word is applied, it troubles you enough that you don't want to be associated with such an organization or
Yes.
such a people.
Yes.
And you realize that you don't want to be smeared by that tainted version of who you are. And many persons shy away from this narrative, claiming to be Adventist but don't want to have this conversation, this part of the history of where they started attached to them, because it's a foolish thing and these people were stupid and all of that. But when you look at the history of it and how God brought these people from one place, of course, misguided as it may seem to you, there's a part of the story that says that they went back and looked at what the actual storyline was. I remember one time I was going through a crisis in my life, and I had a Bible text that I use called, I think it's Isaiah chapter 54, that says, when you go through the water, it will not overflow you. When you go through the fire, it won't kindle upon you. And here I am finding myself in some deep waters, deep situation. I don't know how to navigate. I am hurting. I don't understand what's going on, and I am scared, you know. And when I looked at the Bible verse and I trusted the Bible to say that I won't be going through any situation, I won't be finding myself, I'll be safe based on the Bible text that I read. And then the next thing I know, you know, the very thing that you think would not is I threw away the Bible. I didn't want to read the Bible anymore because the Bible failed me. When months passed and I said, God, let me see what that Bible text actually said by thinking about it. I picked up the Bible and I read the Bible again. And I then realized that there was a deeper meaning than what it was. It didn't say that it will save you from the problems that you will face.
You will go through them.
It didn't say that you will not find yourself in situations. It did not say that crisis and turmoil won't come. But while they are coming, God's promise. And I will say this to people who don't understand this. If you are the one who is standing on the side, on the opposite side of God's promise, you shall be in serious problems with that. Because while you're going through the water, the Bible says it will not overflow you. And while you're going through the fire will not kindle upon you. It did not say you will not go through it. And so when we look at the storyline, they went back and they looked at the text again, they looked at the study again, and they realized that they had made a grave mistake. It was not the coming of God, but it was what they deemed at the time God's cleansing of the sanctuary, the heavenly sanctuary, that was being done. This also another message that is being rejected right now by the church. And so we have to see these things, and many persons within the church. Let me use it this way. Many persons within the church. And I believe that I want to correct my statement. Somebody told me that I must not refer to it in this way. Many persons that are within the church, whether they are at the top, presidents or whatever, and reject this message, you are only within the church, you are not. And so let me correct that message, that statement.
And on that note, it's time for us to get out of studio, and I will, of course, choose to leave this passage with you. And I don't know at what point you will hear this message, but I know this is for everyone. And it comes from Isaiah 43, verse 2. And it says, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Remember, say a word of prayer today for Sister Charmaine and the family members. Call her name in prayer and have yourself a wonderful Wellness Wednesday. Stay well, stay good, walk good, and God bless you.
As always, guys, please share, like, and subscribe to Flashpoint. Help us grow to 10 million persons, reaching them with positive words of hope. Hit the bell. So every time one of these programs are aired, you can get that program immediately. I want to say also to remember to subscribe to our radio at www.flashpointmedia.ay. Our radio plays all day. Lots of beautiful stuff comes on every day while we are off air, while we are off YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. We are on radio all day, 24 hours, 40 before. Thank you guys for joining us. It has been a wonderful Wellness Wednesday. I want to thank Dr. K. I want to thank Dr. K for coming on this morning and of course sharing such wealth of information and advice how to take care of our health. Glaucoma. Don't smoke the weed.
Have yourself a good day, guys.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our way. Won't you come